Famer, Jay Foreman.
Fires a pass, and it's intercepted by the Huskers at the 25, Jay Foreman. And Foreman takes it down to the 19-yard line of Oklahoma. Another big play by the Blackshirts.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging.
Good morning. Another early morning. Jay Foreman inside the huddle, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. You can definitely meet all your medical needs, whether it's MRI, diagnosis, and game plan. With that being said, welcome to 2024. Still a little dark outside, so we got to brighten the lights out here. But what's been bright, Harrison, has been obviously the early signing period. Obviously, it was really bright. And then after that, you kind of had a little bit of a lull. But then also, I will tell you, Harrison, that you had Carter Nelson and I think Bricks and one other player played in the. I don't know. They have so many all American games. And before we get into the portal weekend, I got a chance to watch about 3/4 of that game, and to see Carter Nelson play obviously 11, regular football with 11 on 11, and be everything that you had heard as far as fast, quick, catch, physical.
Yeah, physicality popped right away.
Right, that's what you want right there. I'm pretty sure he was excited to go down there, and prove himself, and more or less not prove himself to anybody else, but prove himself, make everything that he knows that he is, internally, come to light, and he certainly did. They all did, and that's a really good, sign for Nebraska, for the, the present and the future. You just never know what can happen. Obviously, there's a long time before, fall camp, and you got a lot, pretty long process before that can happen. And so I think that's, part two of it, right? And it's like three parts, where I think you had a phenomenal signing day. I think Nebraska, obviously Nebraska wasn't the number one recruiting class, but I think, flipping Dylan Raiola, then obviously, keeping Carter Nelson, because I think, was it Notre Dame or somebody kind of came in at the very end because they were up in Omaha, seeing, the Rezacs. And so, it was great that, you kind of had him again, along with, but even before that, we got Bricks and the host of other guys. That was the first part. Then the second part was kind of like I wouldn't even call it an asterisk, but it was just like, okay, well, let's see what these guys do on a national stage, right? So, look, for the coaches, they got to really get another eye on evaluating, their recruits that they already committed to. So these are your guys, right? So you get like, okay, let's see what they do against so-and-so that we had maybe offered, and they had picked another school, or, oh, this kid was a Bama commit, and we saw a host of other kids announce their commits. But it's not just watching your players, that are committed. It's watching the others, and then watching how your players play against them. And it's the best competition that all these kids are going to play against, because no matter what high school you went to, if you had 4 guys that were going, say, Power 5, you're playing against about 50 guys that are going Power 5, or high mid-major. This is the best competition you're going to face before you get to college in a game. Now, granted, it's not too much game planning and all that, but still, I think it was a really good, another kind of confirmation for the coaches. We're like, okay, yeah, this is what we thought, and this is what he can improve on. This is where actually he might be better at. Obviously, Carter Nelson was the highest rated guy out there, and he definitely, I think, proved himself, but really set himself up for a good opportunity. Now, granted, that was his high school, but still, you got to give him credit there. And then it seems like as soon as the new year hit, that you started to hear portal news. And, like, oh, okay, well, actually, the running back from Oregon, right? Dante Dowdell, right? 6'2", 218 pounds. he committed to coming on a visit like right before the new year. So we kind of knew that he was coming. And then you kind of started to hear about Jamal Banks, right? The 6'4", 205-pound receiver, I think from Wake Forest, right? And then you started to hear a little bit of rumblings about a couple linebackers, which obviously always made me happy, right? I mean, you lose Luke Reimer, Nick Heinrich decided to, medical retire. Obviously, he had the unfortunate, knee injury, and he's battled and he's been a captain. And then also, the process of coming back, it was a very thoughtful move on his part. He's a smart kid. He already graduated and stuff. So then you see Xavier Alexander, a former 3-star recruit, Idaho, very productive kid, can play all different types of positions. It looks like 6'2", 215 pounds. So that means he just fits right in there where project him probably get up to maybe 220, 225. So you're thinking maybe Jack, you're thinking maybe like a weak side inside linebacker, but he has experience of playing. And obviously, what is that? That's the, right outside of obviously Power 5. So, that's a guy that you really want. And then the one that's really the most interesting here is Stephon Thompson, because of Tony White knows him better than anybody on this staff. And he was hurt in 2022, Tony White's last year, came back and ended up 5th on the team in tackles after an injury. So to do that, to come back from an injury, reestablish yourself, and then go through the process, I call it by playing and rehabbing probably the first part of the season, and then be pretty productive, is obviously a step in the right direction. And he's 6'1", 245 pounds. I mean, he's coming down. He's going to rock the mic a little bit. That's it right there, Harrison. That lets you know what he can do. And here's a better thing about it. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. And I can tell you that when they play a pretty good brand of football there, and so he's going to step right in if we can get him to commit. I guess all the pressure goes on Tony White, right, to get him to commit. And so, oddly enough, over the weekend we got commitment from Dante Dowdell, right, which is great. He adds to the running back room. So when you think you got Emmett Johnson, Gabe Irvin, you feel a little bit more comfortable there, right? Gabe Irvin, obviously, freak injuries, been injury prone. The emergence of Emmett Johnson was huge, right?
Yeah, that's just icing on the cake,
right? I mean,
he played really well down the
right, and I can guarantee. I know his mindset. He's thinking, you got to beat me out, and it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I mean, I think going into it, like you look at him as one of your front runners already.
It's 1A and 1B, whoever it is, they're both going to play. Now, here's the most interesting guy that we just got to commit from late last night. It came just right before my Houston Texans put them Indianapolis Colts heads to bed. And it was Isaiah Nayer, the receiver, the receiver from the University of Texas, by the way, from the University of Wyoming. And here's why I think it's good before we go to break. He was at the University of Wyoming, was a legit deep threat. He averaged, I think, close to 20 or a little bit over 20 yards per catch, transferred to Texas. And it was funny, Harrison, a few years ago, I was watching the Wyoming game, and he was literally dicing guys up. And the announcers were like, yeah, he's going in the portal. And I'm like, he's going in the portal. There's 2 games left. And he's still out here murking guys. It's like, like you do the pregame stuff. Hey, yeah, you're having a great season. Yeah, I'm just letting you know I'm going in the portal. But I'm going to still go out here and work out. Now, he was one of the highest rated guys going into the portal. And you got to remember, USC was looking at him. Yeah, it came down between USC and Texas. He chose Texas. Went down there and got hurt and battled his way back, played, but never could, and now granted, breaking into that receiver core in Texas is a hard deal, but he's healthy. He came up here, great opportunity. He is from Texas originally, so that lets you know Matt Rule and staff have a good, playbook on him prior to him even coming on a visit. Also, Craig Ball, I think, was here during the spring, so if that was something that they maybe had projected, they could have asked Coach Bowl, I'm sure, just by meeting. So there is a lot of background on him. He committed, so we got 2 good commits, and hopefully we can get all 5 of them. That'd be great. I think I don't get into the portal rankings because I look at portal rankings based on what you need. And I think we got 2 big ones, which we needed, a veteran receiver. If we could get Jamal Banks, ideally both the linebackers or one of them, I think Matt Rule and those guys Matt Rule and staff would be very happy with this portal weekend. It's going to be hard for him to leave without committing because it's right around the corner too. So you're getting him at the right time. So the timing is everything. And it is time for us to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and put a bow on this thing. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the national championship game here in a little bit over 24 hours and what it takes and what the prep is like the day before a national championship game. Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
I hired a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Are you searching for a helping hand in life? Look no further. Integrated Behavioral Health Services is your answer. They're your compassionate, trusted partners committed to guiding you from challenges to triumphs. Their licensed professionals offer personalized therapy for individuals, couples, and families. At IBHS, the focus is you. Experience a life-changing transformation in an environment tailored to your unique needs. Visit ibhealthservices.com today and take that first step towards a brighter future. Discover the power of healing with Integrated Behavioral Health Services. You're not alone. Let them walk this journey with you.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. It's a new year, and Fairway has deals this week like 93% lean ground beef for just $4.99 per pound, USDA choice beef rump roast for $3.99 per pound, buy 2 8-ounce bacon-wrapped turkey broils for $7, or buy 10, get 5 free on all-natural boneless pork ribeye chops. Your new year starts at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
I could write a commercial telling you how great waffle weekends are at the chocolate season. Or I could just have Rico read you the menu.
Banana Nutella. Nutella topped Belgian waffle with homemade whipped cream, chocolate chips, and freshly sliced bananas. Baconator. Buttermilk waffle with bacon slices tucked inside, topped with salted whipped butter, caramelized pecans, and pure maple syrup.
Waffle weekend brunches at the chocolate season.
PB&J.
40th and Old Cheney or online at thechocolateseason.com.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've sufferred from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Back to Inside the Huddle, sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging. Here is your host, Jay Foreman.
We're back. Jay Foreman inside the huddle, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. National championship game in a little bit over, what is that, Air Harrison? Would that be like if it 36 hours about?
Was it 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
8 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, so about 36 hours. Both teams, look, you're getting two undefeated teams. This is the best of the best. Styles make fights. You got the brute force of Michigan versus the precision pass and attack and athletic ability of Washington. So it's whoever can stay within their game. You know, it's not like Washington's not physical, but they have an excellent quarterback, and I would probably say he probably should have won the Heisman. They have the best receiving core in the nation, where Michigan feels like they have the best defense in the nation. Two older teams, right? So that's what you get looking for coaches out there. If you can keep guys around, they continue to get better and create a culture. You can, somehow find a way of getting into this college football playoffs. But I always think it's interesting to look back on what it's like to play in one of these games. And it's very interesting for a younger player. So like when I was a redshirt freshman starting and about to play Florida, it's excitement. It's definitely nervous. You aren't scared, but you're definitely, wanting to make sure that you don't go out there and mess up. So as the redshirt freshman, I was thinking like, hey, I just want to go out there and make a few plays and then we just continue to dominate. Whereas my junior year, when we were about to play Tennessee, it was full on. We're out here to prove something, and I have to make plays. I have to show up, and it's a difference in mentality. So you're going to see a difference in the players. I don't think there's an advantage either way. The two different styles of coaching, I think, is different based on the experience. Where Jim Harbaugh and those guys haven't been to the championship, they're here. And it was interesting that when they got to Houston, they immediately had a walkthrough. One, to correct some mistakes, but two, I think, to keep them focused and maybe on schedule mentally. And then where you had Washington, who had a little bit farther to travel, and they were, catching up on their sleep. I like the boys' mindset of letting the guys know, look, this is a huge game. This is the biggest game of your life. He told them the first game, this is the biggest game you're going to play in your life right now, up until this point. I like it because he's not going to lie to you. This is a huge game. Mm-hmm. This is a huge opportunity. And you won. And guess what? This is the biggest game that you might play in for even the guys that go and play professional football, that you might play in your life. And the reason why I know is because to play or to be on a team with 3 national championships and play and start in 2 of them, those 2 games. Now, granted, I played in some big NFL games, right, in playoff games, but the magnitude of the championship games, national championship games, were way bigger than those. Just think about that.
You're on the national stage. There's one game on.
One game, but this is it. That you're in, and it's different. Now, if I would have been fortunate enough to play in Super Bowls and win Super Bowls obviously leapfrog that, right? But when you think about it, you win. I won 3 national championships and got in, and you're legend. I don't consider myself a legend, but you're legendary teams. You're a part of something very special. There's 5 here at Nebraska. I was on 3. So you separate yourself, the ability to do something that you never forget. And when you're at the University of Washington or Michigan, you are thought of as the team or one of the teams that got it done. And, and you get up to, in a team-wise, legendary status. It's coaching-wise. Jim Harbaugh, this will be the first time winning a national championship. And, he lost to his brother in the Super Bowl. Lost a couple of times in college football playoffs. Obviously dealt with a ton of scrutiny this year, rightfully so. And then you have DeBoer that kind of, he's from South Dakota, went to Fresno, lit it up at Fresno, kind of an offensive guy. Actually went to Indiana, brought Michael Penix there. Kind of thought, okay, Washington's a good story last year. They're close, but they'll just always throw it around the yard and never can win the big game. Well, that defense against Oregon let you know that they're there when they play with a nasty edge. And then also they dominated Texas until the very last quarter or so, where they kind of got out of rhythm is ball control. Mm-hmm. You're getting to two of the best coaches, two of the best teams. It's going to be a battle, and how they handle these next 36 hours is really going to dictate the outcome of the game.
Has anyone got an edge for you? Is any team in particular? Because to me, it's either Michael Penix Jr.'s got to have the best game of his career, or Michigan's going to walk away with it.
Yeah, I think I think it's going to come down to, can Washington contain the running game? I feel like they match up outside. They play against the best receivers in the nation in practice.
Mm-hmm.
If they can contain the running game, right, and keep Michigan, make McCarthy beat them, they're fine. On the flip side, Michigan thinks they have the best defensive back room. They feel like they have 5 pro guys. That's what they feel like.
Yeah, I mean, they handled Alabama. That's why I'm like
in the
real
defensive
about
in the defensive backfield.
Mm-hmm.
But they ain't seen nothing like this before. They thought Marvin Harrison was the best receiver in the nation. You're about to see him tonight or tomorrow night, and you got the best quarterback in the nation. And then also the University of Washington's offensive line won the Joe Moore Award. So I really it's going to come down to, can Michigan establish their run game, and then can Washington run the ball enough just to stay on schedule? Whoever does that best wins this game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. If Quorum has the night, I don't see them winning.
Yeah. I think I'm just hoping for a great game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, when you come down, is you just hope for is the great game. Last year was a letdown. I think this is going to be a great game. Nobody will ever be out of it. Anyways, quick Inside the Huddle, Jay Foreman, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Pete Ferguson is next. We'll see you next week.